Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecca. Welcome back to the 9 p.m. all-weather, all-streaming show that we do here every night during the workdays and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms as well as to Facebook Live. So if you are joining us from Facebook Live or even YouTube Live, you are able to leave a comment or a question down below. Hopefully I'll be able to address it as I go through the forecast, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can address anything individually for you. So let's get started here with a look at our headlines. What are we keeping an eye on for the next couple of days? Well, for the rest of the night tonight will remain mostly clear, but we do have some patchy areas of fog that may develop overnight tonight, especially for folks who caught maybe a stray shower or a storm earlier this afternoon. Very few of us did, but some did, so that may bring about some fog early tomorrow morning. But outside of just that stray shower chance through the end of the work week, heat is really going to be the dominating factor in the forecast. It continues to build here as we go through the weekend as high pressure keeps things on the drier side. So let's take a look at all of those details right now on the weather show. Starting off with a look at our setup. We've got high pressure anchored just to our north over the Great Lakes region, and then that has pushed a frontal boundary southward through the tri-state, and that actually started to move through on Tuesday. We had some showers and storms, even a few severe storms there Tuesday afternoon and evening, and then we had a few spot showers yesterday, and then again a few today, and each day there's kind of been less and less coverage of those showers and storms, and that's because this high pressure system is kind of building itself in, so that kind of squanders a lot of the rain chances that we would see over the weekend. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to see any shower activity at all. I still think we have that spot chance for a shower each day just because it is so hot and humid, but it is going to be very, very few and far between. Now, taking a look at the tri-state a little bit closer in, you can see we're really not tracking out anything within the area right now, but just outside to the east of Perry County, there in Meade County, they've got a little bit of a downpour, a little heavy shower there right along the Kentucky and Indiana line. And that is pretty much all we have going on in the area right now. Temperatures have cooled down a good bit since earlier today. We topped out at around 92, and we've cooled down now to around 80 here in Evansville, 78 in Henderson, 78 as well up towards Lawrenceville, and around 79 down towards Greenville. So in general, in the upper 70s to lower 80s this evening. We'll continue to drop down through the 70s into the lower 70s overnight tonight. And again, some patchy areas of fog will be possible. So here's what that looks like, mainly through the early morning hours. And then, of course, once that sun rises, that fog is going to dissipate. So if you have to head out early for work or school tomorrow morning, keep that in mind. Maybe give yourself a little extra time, especially if you encounter some reduced visibilities. Now, looking ahead to our Friday, outside of some fog in the morning and a stray shower possible in the afternoon, we are going to stay mostly dry with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures climb all the way back up into the lower 90s. But when you factor in the humidity, it does make it feel a lot warmer than it actually is. We'll likely feel like we're in the mid to upper 90s, maybe even closer to 100 in some spots for tomorrow afternoon. But let's track everything out on our future radar here. So our in-house model picking up on that spot shower chance during the heating of the day, but very similar to what we had today and yesterday. Very few see that chance, and when they do, it's going to last 30 minutes and then they fall apart. And then after we lose that daytime heating element after the sun sets, everything kind of subsides for Friday night and into Saturday. But looking ahead at your weekend forecast, we've already covered Friday. Saturday and Sunday are going to be just as nice. A lot hotter though, warming all the way up into the mid to upper 90s. 96 on Saturday, 98 on Sunday. And now looking at our precip chances, as I mentioned before, we are going to stay pretty dry this weekend. However, I can't completely rule out that stray shower chance. Our better chances for showers don't arrive until the middle of next week, and that's going to be along a cold front. So we've still got some heat to get through here, but the good news is it doesn't last forever. And the dew points, unfortunately, don't really look like they're going to be moving all that much through this weekend either. So that's why those heat index values have increased, at least since last night. We're still going to be well into that muggy category with dew points into the lower 70s. So here's a look at those heat index forecast values through this weekend. Tomorrow, below that danger level. Typically, we start to get concerned when the heat index is 105 or greater. We'll be below that tomorrow. However, looking at the weekend, because those temperatures have increased, we've started to see those heat index values kind of pop up into that heat advisory territory. So around 105 or a little bit above, that would classify as a heat advisory. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out on the National Weather Service to see if they do issue that for this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. So I expect that to either happen overnight tonight or early tomorrow morning. And if we do start to see that kind of confirmed there, then we'll put a first alert out for the weekend, specifically for that heat and humidity. But you know what to do. You know, we've been through several heat waves so far this summer, so just making sure you're drinking plenty of water and taking breaks in the air conditioning, especially if you have any strenuous activities that you have to do outside. But here's a look at our temperature trend through the next several days. Again, we'll be well above average this weekend. Our average high is around 88. We'll be 10 degrees above that by the time we get into Sunday, with plenty of sunshine still expected Monday into Tuesday, temperatures in the 90s still, and then it's not until Thursday that we start to drop back down to around average as that front and some showers begin to move through. Now, in other news, outside of the tri-state area, we do have some tropical trouble brewing. We've got Tropical Storm Erin now, and this has actually increased in strength since I showed you guys this on 14 News at 4. Earlier, it was only a 60-mile-per-hour wind, or 60-mile-per-hour sustained winds within this tropical storm. Now we've increased to 70, and it only takes 75 mile-per-hour sustained winds to actually become a Category 1 hurricane. So this may very well intensify overnight tonight, and we'll have a hurricane by tomorrow morning. And then this hurricane is expected to travel eastward towards the Caribbean islands, but then before it makes its way to the Bahamas, it passes to the northwest or northeast of Puerto Rico and to the east of the Bahamas. There it turns to the north and continues to strengthen all the way up into a major hurricane, Category 3, by the time we get into Sunday and into Monday of next week. Now, where it goes beyond this point is still uncertain. We have some models that take it up closer to the U.S. and then curve it out, and other models just keep it curving out into the ocean. But the good news is that a lot of the trends are keeping the storm away from making any landfall in the U.S. So that is good news. Hopefully that trend continues there for the folks along the East Coast. And looking at our tropical climatology, this isn't out of the ordinary. Typically, we reach our peak of hurricane season towards the end of the month of August and into the beginning of September. So we are kind of in that rising action here. We are expecting, you know, at least several more storms to form here through this hurricane season. But you can see all of the tropical storms, hurricanes, and major hurricanes all peak within this time frame. So we're likely going to see several more tropical disturbances develop over the coming weeks. But here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Again, pretty nice here to round off the work week and into the weekend. In terms of precipitation, will stay dry. However, it is going to continue to be hot, if not only getting hotter, topping out at around 98 by Sunday. And then we're looking at temperatures remaining in the mid-90s through Tuesday before a cold front brings us some cooler temperatures by the middle and end of next week. So that is all I have here for the 9 p.m. weather show. I'm going to hop off the live stream. I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 10 for all the latest news and weather headlines. Until then, everybody stay safe and have a great rest of your night.